Miniature Landscape Hobbies is proudly supported by these sponsors.
Have you ever finished a model and thought something just looks wrong? The details are neat, the brushwork is crisp, but something just isn't working out quite right. You know, the model as a whole just doesn't seem to have an appeal, and it really just doesn't sing. Well, if this has happened to you, and I'm sure it has, don't panic. This happens to everyone. Even the best pros out there have this problem from time to time.
And the surprising thing? The problem usually isn't your painting skills at all. It's not your brush control. It's not even your color choices. It's the preparation. The decisions made long before you dip your brush in paint. That leads us back to the title of this video, The 5 Secrets to Miniature Painting Perfection. No brush required. Because the secret isn't technique. It's theory.
A truly stunning model, the kind that stops a viewer in its tracks, starts long before the painter picks up his brush.
And today, I'm distilling the entire process into 5 simple concepts that anyone can learn. You just need to understand composition, audience, color theory, lighting, and planning. Let's dive in. Not all miniatures are created equal. A basic infantry trooper isn't meant to command the same attention as a general leading the charge. A towering mech instantly steals the spotlight from the swarm of soldiers around it.
As an artist, you need to start thinking the way a 2D painter looks at his canvas. A model with stronger composition gives you better options. Pick a weaker canvas, and you'll get a lesser result.
This doesn't mean you should ignore the basic troops. These models make up the heart of armies and dioramas. But you should know where to invest your artistic energy. So what makes a strong composition? Well, it comes down to 2 things. First is movement. A static model is boring. It's as simple as that. The way a miniature leans, gestures, or turns its head immediately tells the viewer what's happening. Motion gives the brain context. Action equals intent, which provides story.
And story is engaging.
Humans are wired to read emotion, especially through faces and eyes. If you want your miniature to grab people's attention, choose one that communicates something. Anger, determination, fear, triumph. Anything that tells us what the character feels. So when choosing a showpiece miniature, look for movement and look for emotion. These 2 elements alone can transform your work. When we paint a mini we love, we often expect everyone else to love it too. And that can lead to disappointment.
I remember showing beautifully painted Space Marines to my family members, who didn't show any enthusiasm at all. In fact, they didn't really even react.
But the issue wasn't my painting, it was my audience. Someone with no art background and no interest in sci-fi is ever going to be emotionally invested in a futuristic space monk. But the artists in my family did appreciate the work, even if grimdark sci-fi wasn't their thing, because they still understood the craft behind it. So think about who you're painting for. Are they gamers, collectors, sci-fi fans, history buffs, kids, art enthusiasts? Choose subjects that overlap with your passion and their interests.
But here's a warning. Don't paint solely to please the audience, because they'll be able to tell that your heart's not in it. Your emotional connection to the subject matters as much as theirs.
If you study pro-painted miniatures, you'll start to notice repeating color patterns. Blue and orange, green and red, yellow and purple. These are complementary colors, and they work because our brains instinctively find them pleasing.
Color theory is a massive topic that can take years to study, but you only need to grasp one concept to instantly improve your painting. Pick a dominant color, and then use its opposite.
Let's say your model is mostly yellow-orange. The complementary color is indigo blue. Using even a little of that opposite color creates balance and visual harmony. This also is the key to drawing attention to small details. If you paint a mech in green, you can give it red insignias or warning stripes. Suddenly, those tiny red elements really just pop. They tell a story, add realism, and guide the viewer's eye.
Grab a color wheel, pick a dominant color, select its opposite, use both, and boom, instant miniature painting upgrade.
Now let's get back to theory.
A miniature is a representation of something larger, but since it's actually small, it doesn't cast shadows like its real-life equivalent.
If you paint without considering light direction, the results look flat and unrealistic, even if your brushwork is perfect. So you need to paint the lighting manually. Start simple. Decide where the imaginary light source is. Above, from the left, from a glowing weapon. The option is up to you. But for simplicity's sake, most painters just choose straight from above. Then, darken areas that would naturally fall into shadow. Use the darkest tones and even pure black in the deepest recesses. Place highlights only where the light would actually fall. A lot of painters highlight all the edges equally, but this breaks the illusion of reality. If a highlight appears where light can't reach it, the model instantly feels wrong.
Remember that contrast equals appeal, so plan your shadows and highlights intentionally.
Now that you've got all the theory, the final step is putting it together. This is the part that many painters skip. Don't. Once you've chosen the composition, audience focus, color schemes, and lighting, just stop. And look at the miniature.
Turn it around in your hands and imagine the final result in your mind. Visualize the pose, the colors, the shadows, and the highlights.
If something feels off, adjust it. Change the pose, swap a color, alter the imagined light source, or add or remove a detail.
Only once the vision is solid should you actually pick up your brush. A clear, concise plan means that you'll get the ideal visual result.
And that's it. The 5 secrets to miniature painting perfection. But when I say perfection, I mean your perfection. The realization of the best work for the mini you're painting on at this time. I point this out because the concept of perfection is not a static thing, as art has no endpoint, just an ongoing process of continual improvement where your most important critic is your own sense of accomplishment. Because remember, in the end, art is supposed to be fun and rewarding, but armed with an understanding of composition, audience, color theory, light sources, and planning, you should be able to unleash your best work. Most importantly, none of these concepts require elite brush control or expensive tools.
All it requires is the grasp of a little bit of theory and the willingness to plan ahead before you actually start. Put these principles into practice, and your work will go from pretty good to outstanding.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out the links in the video description. There you'll find links to Miniature Market and Wayland Games. Purchases from these links help support the channel, and I'd really appreciate that. You can also join my Patreon for early access to my videos, hobby discounts from tons of great retailers, and loads of STL files for Wargaming accessories. See you next time for more miniature gaming, painting, and diorama videos. But most importantly, until then, remember to keep building life in miniature.